we can see all the times the BSR drop, basically all the times the green line dropped. Everyone in this scenario, every single drop in the low sales volume scenario is a single sale. So let's go over and check out the last month. So here we see the monthly drops. We can see every time it dropped is likely one sale. That's how it works in these scenarios, except if it's part of a variation set. All the ASINs in the variation set share those sales. So that's when it kind of gets skewed. So if you see a product that has a bought in the past month and it's part of a variation set, its bought in the past month is very accurate. If there's no bought in the past month and we're getting a sales deficit based on the drops, that number is usually divided amongst all the other ASINs in the variation set. So it gets a bit complicated. So if you're looking at a product that has very few sales and it's part of a variation set, be very skeptical about how many sales it actually gets. By heading over here to the sales per month column, you get a very accurate reading of which data point you need to be looking at. So if there's a bought in the past month, for example, like this one, you understand that the 200 is very accurate. Even when there are variations, it's very accurate. So you can see all these numbers over here. Now, if there's no bought in the past month, it will interpret the sales drops as your estimate. So it will have an interpretation of what the sales drops have been for the last year, and it will give you an accurate reading of how many units the ASIN is selling. But if it's part of a variation set, you need to be a bit more skeptical. When we're looking at this one here, we're seeing that it has a bought in the past month of 50. That is 50 even though there is part of a variation set. But if you have one like this, where it's 25, for example, because it's interpreting the sales drop data, that is skewed amongst the variations within that listing. So it's very important to understand how that kind of works out. The bought in the past month is the most accurate reading, even when it's part of variations. If there's just a sales estimate based on the sales drops, that means it can be skewed amongst the variation set. So if there's 20 in the variation set, it might mean that each one sells like 1 or 2 units each, or it might mean that one might dominate all the sales and the other ones might get 0, for example.